Good people, good people. Thanks for checking back in. Today I want to talk about something that's on our minds quite often. I think most creatives, something we don't talk about nearly enough, and that is creative burnout. That moment where the creative spark that you have keeps feeling like it's just packed its bags and moved to Florida or Cabo or someplace as far away from you and didn't leave a forwarding address. If you're out here trying to build something, music, art, business, you probably felt it creeping in. But I'm going to share a few big things with you, things that have helped me keep that fire lit, and more importantly, keep it lit for me and not everybody else. Remember why you started. When you first picked up the pen, the instrument, that camera, it wasn't because you were chasing likes or streams or awards. You did it because there was something inside you. It's like I talked about in the last video. There was something inside you that compelled you to do it. Like you had to do it. If you didn't, you weren't going to be able to breathe. You had a story, an idea, that track that wouldn't leave you alone. The more you can tap back into that original why, the less you'll be swayed by all the outside stuff that can have a negative influence on how you move ahead creatively. Numbers are cool, but the problem with numbers is they're just black and white on a piece of paper or a screen. They don't hug you back. You know what does? Your passion. Listen, comparing yourself to someone else's highlight reel is a recipe for exhaustion. That's the quickest way to burn out. You can't see, remember all the things that you don't see behind the scenes, the late nights, the failed drafts, the self-doubt behind their reels and their feed. And trust me, they've got it the same way you do. Yours is your own. Different lane, different car, different terrain that you have to navigate. The more you keep your eyes on the road, the smoother the ride will be. So let's talk about point number 3. That's building sustainable routines. Look, you've heard the saying, you're never going to get to the top of the ladder if you don't have all the rungs to get you there. The rungs being the bars that you hold on to, for those who don't know. You have to have rungs on a ladder. So start planning the rungs out. If you're constantly in sprint mode all the time, you're going to burn out real fast. You're going to run out of gas, period. You have to protect your time like it's money, because ultimately it is. Schedule breaks, set limits, use a Pomodoro timer. That's a great way to be able to say, look, I'm going to get up and walk away from this now so I don't drive myself into the ground. Step away from the work before you have to when it becomes dire. Inspiration flows a lot better when you're not running on caffeine and stress fumes. And that includes making space to create with no pressure. Not everything you do has to see the light of day. You can go into a dark cave and process and figure out how you want to do things and then put out what you want to the world. Not everything has to go out. And you don't have to show people your process. You can be human and messy. Remember, not everything has to be perfect. We talked about that in Just Start. You have to get going at some point, but you don't have to put everything out in front of people. If you're creating without the pressure to share and you find the joy in creating, that's what's going to keep you from hitting that mode where you just burn out entirely. And lastly, figure out what success looks like for you. If your definition of success is only tied to numbers, you're setting yourself up for dire disappointment. Just in the last couple of months, I've lost a couple hundred followers on Instagram, be it because, they're bots or people chose to not follow. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they like the content enough to stick around. But if they did, that's okay. But those things fluctuate. They go up and down. But if you're only competing with yourself and you're the only one that you have to worry about and how it makes you feel and the catharsis that you get from the creation of whatever it is that you're creating, that's the key to success. And if you measure that as your barometer, if you use that as your barometer for success, then you're never going to get burnt out. And those small wins that you have will stack up a lot quicker than you think. Listen, at the end of the day, you've got to build something that you're proud of, even if nobody else sees it. That's how you keep the creative battery charged. Don't give burnout the keys to the car and let it just drive all around doing whatever. Keep driving for you, not the crowd. The Alchemist had a post recently that I was really drawn to, and he said, look, even if you're creating, if you make something that even one person stops down to pay attention to, regardless of whether they engage with it or comment on it, regardless of whether they go and buy your project or buy something that you've done or say something directly about it. At the end of the day, if it touched one person, then ultimately you've done something meaningful, and that matters. Listen, at the end of the day, you have to build something that you believe in, and you have to believe in it whether one person sees it or 1,000 people see it. Even if nobody else saw it, you have to feel good about it. That's how you keep your creative battery charged. Don't give Burnout the keys to the car. You're going to let it run you ragged, and you're going to end up a piling heap on the ground, smoldering. And hey, listen, if it means you stepping away to create, to feel good about the things you're doing so that you can put it out into the world confidently, the way you want to, and in a way that's going to make you feel fulfilled and happy, then that's what matters, man. Yeah, let me know where you're at. Let me know how you feel about this. Let me know if you've ever been burned out at any time in your life working on something that meant a lot to you. Because over time, the key to sustaining anything is to be able to do it in perpetuity, meaning you have to be able to move forward without always having the fear of breaking down or setting yourself up for disappointment if you are pining after the wrong things like likes and follows and numbers like that the social media industry has labeled as KPIs, or things that we should be looking at, when the reality is you don't have to look at any of that stuff. You're a creative. If you are a creative that creates content, that's great. If you're a content creator, that's great too. But if you're a creative, true blue creative in your soul, you've probably grappled with this at some point, and I just want to know where your head's at. So, but like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you feel about the content if you want to continue to see more stuff like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.